So, Rob, what are the topics today?
So we've got news.
Currently, 3 people have been arrested.
We're going to play a game.
So, true or false?
And then we've got the results of the best boiler brand question that you asked last week.
Here's what the gas engineers of the internet have decided.
So you heard about this massive stash of stolen tools the police have just recovered?
No.
Mate, Callum, tell us about this one.
Glad to hear as well. Tools getting recovered.
Right, so the police have uncovered what's believed to be the largest stolen tool haul ever recovered in the UK, which is around about £2 million worth. And it was after raiding a warehouse in Ilford in East London, containing around roughly 10 lorries loads of tools.
It doesn't surprise me that it's in Ilford. Just because we had like an epidemic in Romford. We was working in Romford, and there's one specific building we was working at. And they had a massive car park, and the police were sitting in there, like undercover police and stuff, and you just couldn't even leave a van in there for like half an hour. We got like 3 of our vans done, so around that East or Essex and East London is bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
How do they find them?
Yeah, so the discovery actually came from a tradesperson who'd left an air tag on some of the stolen equipment, so they managed to track it from that.
Nice.
Currently, 3 people have been arrested, with officers saying the tools were likely being resold online and shipped across the UK and Europe. And now the police are just working to reunite the tradespeople with their stolen kit and urging installers to mark, register and track tools to improve recovery efforts.
Yeah, there's ways of doing that. Do you do that? Like you can put like tags and things like that that are like really hard to get off your tools. That like, or you can, I think there's ways of doing it that's almost invisible as well. So like if you put like a light on it or something like that, you can then see like a serial number.
Yeah,
and that can
like
be put in a
watermark
database, like shit like that. I'm sure you can do stuff like that. That would be smart to do. Obviously, it's a bit of ag though, isn't it?
And also, some brands now, they have like this Bluetooth device in the tool. It's a bit more expensive for the tool, but the tool locks out. Right. So like you connect it to your phone and it like, unlocks them.
Oh, that's decent. Yeah, so you can't even use it without a code. Oh yeah, that's spot on. That's what they need to be doing.
Was that 2 million or 200 million?
2 million.
2 million, I was going to say.
But in one raid, 2 million.
2 million, wow.
That's a lot of tools, isn't it? That's a lot of tools in one raid. 10 lorry loads. 10 lorry loads.
We do actually have a video. It is going to be very crop for you guys.
Oh, go on. No sound. It's just fucking loads of stuff, isn't it? Look at it.
Yeah. Poor buggers.
And they're just throwing it in there. They're just collecting it up and just throwing it in there and then just selling it on. It's like, mate, get a fucking job.
And I mean that poor buggers, obviously the tradespeople that have had their vans broken into, because it's not just the tools that get stolen. You've got to think it's the damage to the vans.
Oh, mate.
I mean, a lot of time that's worse.
Yeah. Well, damage to the vans, tools that are stolen, and with this new law that we were talking about the other week, they're actually going to be considering the fucking livelihood damage. Do you know what I mean? Because if you wake up in the morning, you've got no fucking tools, how are you going to work?
Exactly.
You're losing money from day one, isn't you?
And they've drilled in and folded, like some of the ones we had done in Romford. They were drilling in and we've all got deadlocks. And like, I was always like parked my van in loading bays and things like that, or I park it in real positions where it's so visible that they're not going to target that one, and people leave them right in the car parks, and that's where they're targeted. I'm sure that when I was in some of these car parks, I was sitting in the van and that, and I'd see like young kids like going around on bikes. And then they'd like ring people, and then you see vans pull up, and they jump out these vans with like COVID masks on, and they're drilling and stuff, and they're in and out in seconds, but they're literally folding doors back, and like some of them are like angle grinding holes out of doors, or like multi-tooling holes out to get the locks out and stuff.
So they're using tools to steal tools.
Tools to steal tools.
Wankers.
You know? Honestly.
How do you get your first ones? You go and buy the first ones.
They're using stolen tools to rob tools.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Salt in the wounds.
Shouldn't laugh really, but you got to laugh sometimes at these things. One thing that I was wondering as well, actually, is I slipped my mind. Callum, what is this? Is this a video? Has this got sound?
I can't seem to get the sound working. So, but it seems to be the video that the Met has done, sort of going into the depth about it. So, I think it's interviews, stuff like that. I'm just breaking down roughly the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
In that video, it looked like they just got into a van and saw it was all DeWalt and then shut the door again.
Stop it.
Joking.
Oh, fucking hell. That's what I was going to say. The amount of effort that goes into doing this, like, surely they don't make that much. Like, when you're selling stolen tools, I know they're valuable and stuff, but, like, they're going to have to move them on quick. Like, they've got 10 lorry loads, so they're obviously not moving them that fast. You think the amount of effort that goes into it, like what you were just saying, like the things that you've seen, and the amount of effort that's going into that, the amount of planning, the amount of people involved and all of that, like, is it fucking worth it, man? Like, why can't they just put their mind to doing something productive? You know what I mean? If those people actually put their minds to doing something productive, they'd probably be dangerous, you know? They'd probably actually get shit done. They could probably run businesses and shit, you know?
Yeah.
But instead, they're fucking putting their minds to doing this fucking shit, which is just fucking up other people's lives and probably not even making them that much in the process. There's better things they could be doing with their time.
And it's like, from videos I've seen, like, I know there's like the tool markets in Tottenham and stuff like that, where you see videos on YouTube. I'll show it to you later. And maybe Callum can get it up. If you search tool markets in Tottenham, they're like, people walk down there and there's just like, it's like a car boot, but it's just for as long as you can see people out the back of their trucks selling tools. I think it's a bit like, a lot of it is, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but a lot of it is the foreigners, a lot of Eastern Europeans in like Romford, Ilford area, and maybe they just haven't got much opportunity in work, so they're just unemployed, they're stealing tools, and then they're all working on building sites probably for cheap rates, and they're all going and buying the stolen tools. So it's all a bit of a whole,
I see what you're saying.
Whole thing going on there, you know.
It usually is, like, people usually, when they are committing crimes, it usually is like socio-economic reasons at the end of the day. It's like people are like rich people ain't robbing shit.
Yeah, and I'm not saying English people don't steal tools, because they do. I'm just saying from what I've seen when I've been in like East London and then parts of like Romford and that. Mate, it is just that set of people, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely. And English people steal other things. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I grew up around a bunch of people that steal.
So I'm not like dissing like Eastern Europeans and that. I'm just saying that's from what I see on the videos and from what I've seen firsthand in them areas, they're the main culprits doing it.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it.
I might actually have the sound working if you want to
go on.
try and react to it.
You're under arrest, okay? So it is suspected there's a load of stolen tools there.
You're also under arrest for conspiracy to commit theft and handling stolen goods.
The Metropolitan Police has recovered what is believed to be the largest stash of stolen tools ever discovered in the UK. This is one of several containers from the seizure in Ilford, and it gives you an idea of the actual impact and the size of the seizure. In the end, that resulted in us having a total seizure value of between 1.5 and 2 million. And this is just an example of one of the 12-ton lorries that we've had to use to transport some of those goods to a secure storage.
Having their tools stolen is their livelihood. On a day-to-day basis, tradespeople all up and down the country are having to use tools for their daily income, and they are unfortunately being stolen. And it goes massively through mental health, losing their livelihoods.
It has devastating impact. It's not just the loss of the £4,000, £5,000, £6,000 worth of tools. It goes beyond that. I hear stories of builders that are then losing work. Builders literally in tears telling me about how the work they even had already planned was then cancelled as soon as they go to the customer and ask for money up front.
So, breaking into somebody's vehicle or van, that can put them out of business for weeks, months, sometimes.
But actually what we are showing is police are actively doing stuff.
The technology itself contains a synthetic DNA, which is applied onto the tools. Within that solution as well, there are tiny microscopic dots. So the benefit to police is that this enables them to have instant identification of that DNA code at the scene.
And the message needs to be really clear to the trades and the big companies. You need to mark your tools, forensically mark them with products such as selected DNA. You need to register them on the databases, register them with the manufacturers. Give us the opportunity to be able to locate you after we find them and return them to you. This operation demonstrates the Met's commitment to crack down on tool theft from individual tradespeople to large construction companies.
Good, man.
Yeah, nice to see there's more action being taken.
Definitely. And then with the new laws coming in, there's going to be greater degrees of punishment as well. And like with more punishment and more action, people will stop doing it. Yeah. But they'll obviously move on to other
the consequences are harsher.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what you need. Harsh consequences, don't you, for this kind of shit? You know? That DNA thing's interesting as well.
Yeah,
would you do it? Would you mark up your tools with that? Like,
do you know
if it
what?
was
I
simple
just
to do?
always like permanent marker like my initials on my tools. I just go JP. That's all I really do. But I haven't thought about that. But yeah, maybe
worth looking at, man.
It
I think
is
it's worth
actually.
looking at, and then like letting other people know that you're doing it as well. Because if everyone does that as well, like when their tools like this, like they would do this massive recovery, then they can get everything back to everyone. You know, it's just, I think it's just another little piece of the puzzle. You know, it's obviously not going to stop it happening, and they're not going to get all of them back, but it's another little piece of the puzzle so that everyone's kind of working together. Like people in the industry with the police and the fucking politicians bringing in new laws. Like everyone is doing their bit to kind of bring it to an end, you know?
Yep.
What's this one? Is this one of the markets you were talking about?
Yeah, so I just quickly Googled it up to see what I could find, and Fix Radio have got a little section as well, yeah.
This is probably the top of the markets. Look.
Any sound?
But I mean, like, look, if they went and cracked down on these places, I mean, look, just tools everywhere. Look how many tools there are there. Look.
Yeah.
I mean, like, these have got to be all stolen, haven't they?
Well, where else they? Especially if they're brands.
Just all laid out, look, out the back of a van. So, like, surely just go to these markets and be like, just
they should
down.
just go in and just raid it, shouldn't they?
Yeah, like look at it.
They could just
look how much
raid
tools
that.
there.
Why are they not doing that?
This is almost, that's got to be bigger than the operation the police were just talking about, like one van loads. I mean, look at that. Look.
No, that was 10 van loads.
Oh, was it 10?
Or 10 or 12, yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's a lot. But
I mean,
still, like you say,
you can't, there's tools
there.
for as long as you can see there.
10 lorry loads, yeah.
Oh, 10, fair enough.
But
that's a lot.
but there is still, like you say, there's loads there, and like it's just in plain sight. Like, why can't they go there? There must be a reason they can't do it. Like, there must be some law preventing them from doing it, you know? Because it'd be much easier for the police, wouldn't it, to just go down there and raid it than it would.
Be like, where'd you get all these tools?
Yeah, exactly. Like, show us receipts and whatnot.
Yeah.
But there must be a reason. There must be something. I'm going to look into that because I'm just interested now, and I want to find out what's preventing them from doing it. Because there must be some stupid law somewhere that's like stopping them, you know?
Yeah. I think that might be an older video as well.
Yeah, this one's 2022.
Yeah, so I think it's become more.
They're still going on though.
Yeah, and I think it's become more of a publicised thing and more like pressure on them to do more about it in recent times.
Yeah. Moving on. So everyone's been talking about Ed Miliband's £15 billion new warms homes plan.
All right.
Right. But Trade and Standards are actually saying that it's opening up the door for Cowboy builders. Tell us about this one, Callum.
Yeah, so Australian Standards has warned that the government's new £15 billion warm home plans could open up the door for Cowboy builders, targeting homeowners installing heat pipes, insulation and solar panels. The Chartered Trading Standards Institute says similar past schemes have led to poor quality work and outright fraud, including badly sized heat pumps, high energy bills and insulation causing damp and mould. They also found that nearly 1 in 5 homeowners are put off applying because they just don't know how to find a trustworthy installer. And so the Trading Standards is now calling for a mandatory licensing for installers, making it illegal to carry out this work without proper accreditation.
So it's going to be similar. Well, if they do this, it would be similar by the sounds of things to me to kind of like the gas safe register, but for like heat pumps and solar and for everything, like all of these kind of major installations that people are doing. They want to kind of like a proper register like gas safe, I think, so that there's somewhere for people to check, you know, and it's all like actually maintained by an accreditation body and done properly. Because I've heard some horror stories of like the last kind of scheme was, I think, called Eco 4,
right?
Was like the last like big kind of government funded scheme subsidising like green upgrades to homes and things like that. I've seen, mate, like so many horror stories, like people share them online, or like decent installers going in and going, oh, another Eco 4, like fucking shitty install I've got to fix, you know what I mean? And they're going in, fixing it up for the customer. Obviously the customer's paying again to have that work, like that remedial work done, or to get it working properly. Happens all the time. So now they've got this new £15 billion, which is like the biggest amount like that's going into this stuff yet, which is for like a lot of it's allocated for lower income households. And then it's for like things like solar, heat pumps, all of this kind of stuff, insulation. But there was recently like a massive like insulation scandal. I don't know if you saw that one.
I didn't.
That like loads of them, and that's I think what Callum just mentioned there about like homes ending up like mouldy and all of this kind of stuff after people have done insulation work, and like damp and mould and all that kind of stuff coming off the back of it because people just ain't doing it properly because it's like the customer's effectively not paying. It's like government funded. So then like you get dodgy people that just see it as quick money, easy money. They just go in, just do a shitty job because they don't really know what they're doing just to get access to this kind of funding that the government's pumping into these things. Like without people checking it properly or some kind of oversight, it lands people like with bigger bills. Like they save some money getting it done, but then like they then have to pay to get it fixed later on. Like it's just not what you want. They might as well have never done it in the first place, you know? Crazy stuff, man. But what do you think about like having some kind of mandatory licensing for installers? Obviously, you're already gas safe, aren't you? So.
I think it's definitely good. I don't think it'll be as vigorous as gas safe, but it might be like what they do with the heat pumps. Because, like you say, when there's huge like grants given out, and it's probably very desirable if we're talking £15 billion numbers. People are just going to be jumping on the train to get this work, to get it done, and you're going to get people out there that are just going to want to throw stuff in because it's decent money. I don't know, say like a loft insulation or solar panels or stuff. You're going to get people out there that are just throwing them in, not doing the best install, getting massive payments with these grants, and they're just going to be thrashing stuff out. So, like they've done with the heat pumps, if you have a sort of accredited, documented sort of system, or
but like with the heat pump, like I know what you're talking about, like with the boiler upgrade scheme with the grant, right? You have like MCS, I think it's called, that's like that are responsible for like allocating the grant money, but like people are still getting that money that without them actually checking jobs and things like that. So like that's already in place, and trading standards are saying, yeah, this is going to lead to cowboy builders and like people getting ripped off and ultimately having dodgy work done because the stuff that's already in place ain't enough.
Right.
Like, even like you're saying, it's like a ton of admin, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you jump through hoops, pay fees, do all this admin, but they don't take any responsibility for dodgy installations.
Yeah, and I suppose if they're like they can't check all of them because there's just so many being done, but you probably have to send photos and specifications of what you're doing. But it's easy to like take a photo of like, say, for instance, you're insulating a loft and you just do one corner of it. You can take a picture of that and then you can leave a big bit. Yeah, that's just obviously a scenario. But
like with gas safe though, like we were talking about with those like illegal gas installations that were done recently, those people have been prosecuted, ain't they? So there's like a serious consequence if you do gas work unlicensed, don't they?
Yeah, because like it's a license, like you say. Maybe there should be a mild license you need, or you have to be an accredited installer.
Yeah, well, this is
like
what trading standards are calling for. Like, there has to be some kind of licensing system, which is like, I mean, how much admin or like hassle is gas safe?
Depends how you look at it. Like, some people get stressed out by it, but if you there's a lot of bureaucracy and like paperwork and doing things right, but there has to be. So, and you're just covering yourself because a lot of the time paperwork and stuff like that's essential because you're documenting how you've left it. So somebody could go in there after you and touch it or do something to compromise it, and you're basically documenting, covering yourself to say, this is what I've done, this is how I've left it. So it's actually a good system. It's well thought out. It's it's good.
Yeah, I think it needs to be something more like that, because that way then like you're responsible, ain't you?
Yeah.
Like, and you know that you've put your name to that, and if there's something wrong with it, like that is going to come back on you, ain't it?
Yeah, of course.
And then people know that if they do it illegally without a license, then there is actually a consequence, like a criminal like consequence.
And there has to be of gas. It's got to be to that extreme, because obviously you could injure someone or you blow something up, from gas being explosive to fumes being poisonous to human beings. So yeah, you have to police it to that standard.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely. Well, we'll see what happens, whether anything happens or not. Like, obviously, normally these things would take quite a long time.
But it's definitely a good, like you say, to get some type of accreditation system, or you have to be like a certified installer to be getting these bits. And then what they do with gas is, because there's so much gas work being done, you can't go to every gas job, but they'll do random spot checks. So they'll ring you up and they'll say, look, James, we want to come and have a look at your work.
Yeah.
And I'll take that gas safe inspector to whatever he chooses to look at, and I'll say, look, this is it, and he'll look at it and he'll say, right, yeah, that's spot on, or he'll say, you could have done that better, like, or he'll advise me. I've always been all right on them because I do everything properly, but he'll probably the person probably go to some and he'll say, I'm not happy with that, that's not good enough, or like he'll point them in the right direction, or if it's unsafe, they'll be pulled in and they'll be under investigation.
Yeah.
So they could do like an accreditation scheme, or like a certified installers scheme, and then they'll do random spot checks. So the person has to submit the work they've done to get the grant, and then certain jobs, they'll just randomly ring people and say, right, we want to come and check this job. And then they're going to find people on certain jobs that haven't done it to standard, and they'll say, you can't continue in this scheme. And then that'll basically set the standard for everyone else, because they'll think, oh, well, I don't want to loop but not be on the scheme. That's why gas safe is clever about it, because you've got to do things properly, because if you get found out, then you lose your gas safe. As simple as that. So if they make it like that, you'll get more people will be more pushed into doing things correctly.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what's more likely to happen, by the sounds of things, what trading standards are saying, and the fact that this money is now available or becoming available very soon, and the government really wants to like
rash it out.
Yeah, they really want to push ahead, don't they, with these installations? So there probably won't be anything put in place.
Yeah, and there's not like that. There's not the severity of if there's an incident with these type of things that there is with gas, and obviously electrics as well. Electrics is policed well, like it's observed well by their
electrics
governing board.
involved with this, like obviously with the heat pumps, with solar panels, all that. There's electrics involved, and then like on the like insulation side of things, if people are doing work like that's resulting in like mould and damp, like that's poisonous, man.
Yeah,
like,
it's
mould is like it might not be like an instant thing, like an explosion, or
slowly
like,
make you ill.
Slowly over time, that can make you really fucking ill.
Yeah,
like really ill. So like it is people's health at risk as well as their money.
Yeah, and the taxpayers' money as well.
Yeah, it's
you want to, like,
money.
if they're getting these big chunks to do this work, just get it done properly.
Yeah,
from the start.
People look at it too much as it's just like, oh, it's just free money. It's not free money, is it? It's like we're all paying for it. Like, like do it right, man. I want value for my money.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, right. Do you know who Dale Vince is?
No.
Okay. So he's the founder of this company called Ecotricity, which is like a green energy.
Cool name.
It's like a green energy company, right? And he's just put out, so he's all into green energy, like bit of a lefty and all that, big Labour Party supporter, all that kind of thing. But he's just put out a new report saying that about heat pumps, and like people that I know in the heat pump industry ain't too happy about it.
Show me it.
Yeah, so the report has basically just come back and said about how electricity costs roughly about 4 times more than gas. So that would mean that a heat pump obviously needs to be about 4 times more efficient to be able to break even. But in reality, it's running around more like 3 times the efficiency, pushing bills up rather than down. So it was nearly 7 in 10 owners surveyed saying that their heating costs had increased. Most didn't actually see savings they were expecting. But they did make the good point that heat pumps can still cut carbon emissions significantly, but just the report kind of questions whether it's being rolled out too quickly into homes, especially ones that aren't properly insulated or are suitable, leaving some households just worse off than they were on a gas boiler.
Yeah, man. So I've been seeing this pop up on LinkedIn. Like people that I know in my network are pissed.
I think
they ain't happy.
I think there's 2 ways to look at it. I think eventually the country, with it building its nuclear power plants, needs to drive the electricity prices down if they want to make it reasonable for people to have heat pumps. And secondly, like you said before, Rob, with I think one of your friends has the company where it maps out the proper way to install it, because some of them aren't installed properly. I went to a house recently, like I told you about, and it was real nice house. Heat pump was working well. I was like, God, it's nice and warm in here. And like, I had a look around. I did a bit of work on the exchanger part of the heat pump, because just basically recharging an expansion vessel, they was losing pressure on the heat inside of it. Heat pump was working fine, but the customer like was talking about it, and she said about she wanted to get gas put in, but it was going to be quite an amount to have the gas line run in, but they chose to do that. But it was £40 a day in electric. Really? Which is quite a lot of money when you worked it out, £40 a day. But looking back now, I don't think the rads were properly sized, because they just look like normal rads. Like, and what you've explained before, you need them larger size rads, and it has to be built like if you use that app that your friends designed and you went round and you specify it properly, it's obviously going to be less in electric, but there's probably heat pumps out there that haven't been designed that well, that are using a lot of electric. And in older houses that just aren't new builds, they're going to use more electric. And electric prices are high. If they drove down electric prices by making more nuclear power plants, and you look at how much France pay for electrics, like EDF, they get it a lot cheaper than us, don't they?
Mate, it's without a doubt the issue. Like
it's the price of electric.
As pointed out, is the price of electric. But whether is it going to come down anytime soon? Like, is that actually realistic? You know what I mean? I don't think it is.
Just frack oil.
Just frack. Well,
joking.
The interesting thing about this guy, and this company, Ecotricity, so I was looking into it a little bit more, and I think what they're pushing, because he is like really on the green side. This is a green energy company. I think that's
where the money's at to be made, though.
I think what they're pushing more is biogas. Like they think that heat pumps are part of the solution. Like that should be in some homes, and that's going to be ideal for certain homes, but we should keep the gas network and use biogas, which
or hydrogen.
I mean, the problem with hydrogen, is
it's expensive.
It's the cost to produce it. Yeah. Like you use more energy producing clean hydrogen at the moment than you would just using whatever that energy is just straight up. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Whereas biogas, like it is interesting. Like I don't know enough about it. I've only just started looking at it, but it is interesting because what he was saying on an interview I saw him on the other day was like you can produce it from grass, like so just like cut grass, and you can use that like basically any kind of green waste, any green matter or green waste or anything like that. You can use that to produce biogas, and then you can put that through the gas network. And then the cost to upgrade everything is just way, way less. And we already, as a country, have this natural resource as like green waste, effectively, whether that's like cut grass or, I don't know, people like chopping like down, I don't know if you chop down trees for it, but you know what I mean, like trimming stuff, like to keep it all in order. You then get obviously just a natural waste from that, which you can either just let like compost or like just go into the ground or rot or whatever, but apparently you can use it to produce biogas, put that through the gas network. I'm sure there need to be some kind of change to boilers, but I think the overall cost of doing that would be, they're arguing anyway, I don't know the detail, but they're arguing that the overall cost of doing that is going to be way less than converting everybody to electric. So it is interesting. It is an interesting point, but like I said, people in my network that I know that are obviously big in the heat pump space, they are kind of pushing back against it because some of the stuff that he's saying in the report is that heat pumps basically aren't suitable for all homes. And they argue that actually with proper system design, you can have a heat pump in like 99% of homes in this country. Like that's their position. So it's an interesting debate. It's a very interesting debate.
I think there's the way the things are all going, like eco and green. I think there's just going to be more and more technologies. At the moment, it's very heat pump, but if you drive electricity prices right down, and as the like world evolves, like one day, like electricity could be so cheap when they start making like fusion technologies, and I know there's a lot of stuff out there, but the energy companies hold it back because they don't want to give everyone the free pass yet. But if they made electricity cheap enough and done enough nuclear and stuff, like you could just have electric heating in your house. Like instead of having heat pumps, you could just have panel rads, like an electric heater.
Yeah,
you know, like or there could be aircon, there could be heat pumps, there could be, like you said, biogas. They could one day push for hydrogen. So who knows where we're going to go. At the moment, we're sort of like fixed on heat pumps, but there's all new technologies coming in, and with AI, it might start giving us other answers. We don't know where we're going to be in 5 or 10 years. It might be like heat pumps are sort of like a thing of them, and they're moving in a different direction.
Yeah,
you never know, do you?
No, you never know. You never know. The thing that I think is very interesting about heat pumps is the fact that you can get like 3, 4, 5 times efficiency. 3, 4, or 500% efficiency. Whereas like standalone electric heaters are like considered 100% efficient at point of use, right? So whatever energy you put in is the heat that you get out. If you have a 1,000 watt heater, you get 1,000 watts of heat out. Whereas because heat pumps don't produce heat, right? They move it. Yeah,
that's right.
So the energy that you use, like you can use 1,000 watts of energy, but move like 4,000 watts of heat, which is genius, right? When you think about it, there's a kind of thing there that you want to tap into that. The problem, again, like you're saying, is the cost of electricity.
Well, with aircon, for every unit you use, you get, I think, 1 or 2 back. I don't know the specifics, but you get more back than how much energy you're using with aircon. Aircon is amazing.
Yeah, well, that app I showed you, like, so HeatGeek, they design their system as a minimum 340%. So you'll get 3.4 times, like as a minimum, but they can design a system like up to like 5 times. It just depends. If you're doing that though, it's got to be so much more efficient. There's got to be more upsizing of rads. There's got to be more involved. So then the cost of installation is a lot higher. So that's kind of where they sit in the market at the moment. They're like looking at it and going, well, we need to balance the cost of installation with the amount that you can save so that the payback period actually makes sense, which I think is smart. And I think what they're doing is good. But like, I do also see the argument for this, like an argument for using a different form of gas that solves the carbon emissions issue, but then requires much less in terms of upgrading to people's, energy systems, and also like the retraining of engineers, right? Because most engineers that are trained in like the gas heating engineers aren't trained to do heat pumps. They don't know how to do heat pumps.
Yeah, you're right.
There's like a massive gap there. It's a huge mountain to climb. And if there's an alternative solution that can work alongside it, I think we should be looking at like every option and being open to things, and not just think that everything's going to be like a one-size-fits-all solution, because the more solutions you've got available and the more choice you've got for consumers, the better, right?
There's a lot of air conditioning engineers out there though, and they should really jump more on the heat pump thing, because obviously I come from a HVAC industry, which is heat and ventilation air conditioning commercial, so we've always done heat pumps, but commercial heat pumps are different. They're basically like an air handling unit on the roof, which is a big massive like box room on a roof, and it will have a huge air conditioning system in it, and the air conditioning system will just run backwards and then produce heat, and it just goes to a huge coil and fan blows through it and blows down into the building, so you can get cooling or heating. So the heat pumps in commercial have been like 30 years, some more like 40 years and stuff. They've been about forever. It's just different in the domestic sector. They're a little bit different the way they run. But yeah, air conditioning engineers would understand it well. They should get more on it, because there's so many air conditioning engineers out there, but they're just doing aircon, so they should just get more on the heat pump. They just don't understand the water side of it as much, but that's something they could
learn.
Yeah, something they could learn.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot easier for getting them into
something I saw interesting the other day as well, like refrigeration like engineers would be a good resource and a good pool of people to tap into to train for doing like domestic heat pumps.
Definitely. So they're the same, like if in the commercial sector, like the refrigeration engineers, like aircon engineers, refrigeration engineers in the commercial sector could easily do air conditioning, commercial air conditioning, because it's big aircon units. It's just a lot of recharging gas and leak test recharges and things like that. You have huge systems, and you have to, when you start losing gas, because it's bad for the Earth's atmosphere, you have to like recover what's there, pressurize it with nitrogen, leave it on a pressure test, and then you pressurize it to real high pressures, and then you can hear where the leak is. Or sometimes you use like ultraviolet dyes that you put in there, find the leak, seal them and stuff, and recharge them and that. And they're working on massive systems. So to work on a tiny little heat pump, because they're such a small scale, it'll be easy to them. They just understand it's a bit different, because I think it's using glycol, isn't it, to send it up to the heat exchange, to the plate. So yeah.
Nice. Right, tell me about this latest hack that you got.
Latest hack. It's a little bit of a simple one, but I actually saw this. I was working with a chap and I saw him do it, and I was like, oh my god, that's just such a game changer.
Yeah.
I buy them. There's like £8, and it's basically just these are like car mechanic grips to get out fuel filters, I think.
Right.
But in the heating industry, we use magnetic filters that all have different keys, and they're like a plastic key that go on top, and no one ever leaves them on site, and you collect a load of them. So on the van, I've got every type of key, and a lot of the time if I'm taking a filter out, and the filter collects a load of like magnetite that comes out the system. So yearly, you take this filter out, and there's a metal rod, a magnetic rod, and there's all sludge on it, and you take it down and you wash all the sludge off and put it back in, and it's protecting the boiler.
Yeah.
Because it's taking all the magnetic stuff out and protecting your rad valves and things like that from them getting all debris on them. So yeah, you can literally just get it and squeeze onto the filter, and it's got these little serrated metal teeth, so it bites on there nicely. And loads of people have probably saying in the comment, "You'll break the filter bit" and all that. But listen, I take them out all the time since I've got these, and there was like £8, and they're just so handy to have instead of always having to try to find the right filter plastic key.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So,
So it's like a one size tool for all of them, rather than
there was like £8 on Amazon
Yeah.
or something, and I just take these in and I can just grab the top of the filter and get it undone.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to find the right filter key that sometimes you don't always have, and then you're trying to use grips anyway. So just a cool little tool for £8 to keep in your van.
Yeah, lovely little hack, mate.
Yeah, it is actually a nice little hack there.
Spot on. Right, Callum, should we play this game? I have no idea what this is, by the way. Callum's put together a little game for us to play.
Make it sound like I'm scheming. You make it sound like I'm scheming.
Yeah, but I mean, keeping it fair though. Like, I haven't had all the answers or anything. Like,
No, I've got this fully under wraps, so I'm just hoping this works all right. I don't really know the best way to do this game, but we have a wheel.
nice, got a wheel.
So we're going to basically be doing a version of Wheel of Fortune. So we have a nice wheel here of different categories. So I'm going to spin the wheel, and then whatever is going to be a category, and then I will ask you a question from that category. Is how this is going to work.
Fuck. I hope I can answer some.
I mean, I have to admit, it is a bit difficult from a heating and plumbing standpoint to keep it fair on you, but there are some things in there that are a little bit more like real world scenarios. We've got radiators and heat output. So I have tried.
Yeah.
But good luck, I guess.
Cheers, Callum.
Oh, mate, it's actually spinning. Look.
Oh.
What we got?
Thank God.
Got myths and misconceptions.
Wow, look at that. Look. Fucking hell. Did you make this, Callum?
No, I found a website and I was like, yeah, I'm going to have that.
Myths and misconceptions. Right.
All right. So
you just basically asking a question to both of us, and then we got to try and answer like first, or is it? Yeah, go on, we'll just see how it goes. Go on, ask the question and we'll see.
I did not think of that. So, true or false? Turning the thermostat higher heats a home faster.
False.
Yeah, it's false.
False. I agree.
Right, 1 point to me. Let's go. Let's go. I'm winning.
Oh, is it a point system?
Well, it is now.
Right. Damn it. Right, it's on.
All right, next category. We'll just do like 3 of these, I guess. Ooh. Plumbing fundamentals. Where is it? Okay. What fitting allows 2 different pipe materials to be joined safely?
What fitting?
Yes.
2 different plumbing materials.
Different pipe materials, like, well, as in like what, copper and plastic?
I would presume so.
Compression?
Yeah, I'll take that. The answer I have is compression to plastic, so I will take that. That's close enough for me.
Fair play. I wouldn't have got that.
It's a tiebreaker then, I guess.
What? We ain't doing 3 questions. We'll do more than 3. We'll do 5. I'm enjoying this.
Myths and misconceptions again. I promise it's not rigged or anything like that. True or false? Bigger radiators always cost more to run.
False.
Yeah, that is correct.
Bah, mate. Easy for me.
Real world scenarios. It's a lovely sound. So, a room takes much longer to warm up than the rest of the house. What is one likely reason for this?
Say that again. If a room takes...
So, there's a room that takes much longer to warm up than the rest of the house. What is one likely reason?
System's not balanced correctly.
Yeah, that is one of them. If anyone else wants to give some more answers here, there's 3 potential ones.
Oh, we give 3.
I mean, there's 3 potential answers.
They've got a radiator cut there. They've got a room with 30 years worth of junk stored in it. And you can't even see is there even a radiator in there? Radiators being covered.
I will let that one slide. That's not actually one on there, but yeah, I'll take that one as well.
That works.
The only other ones I had was just...
I was going to say like sludge build up in the rad. Or...
Yeah.
Again, that wasn't...
Blocked radiator.
Yeah, there's a lot of answers here that I didn't have, but no, these
Thermostatic rad valve, pin is stuck.
Oh, that's a good one.
You know?
Yeah. Wait, how many points is that? Fuck, I'm losing.
Didn't have any of these ones. Yeah, you guys...
Air in the radiator.
Yeah, again, didn't have that one. But
then what ones you got?
The only ones I had was heat loss, so I'm presuming like bad window insulation or something like that, and undersized radiator.
Yeah, undersized radiator. I was going to say that.
So.
Fuck. What's the score, Callum?
7-3 to me. I think
it might be actually.
I think it's a tie at the moment, Rob.
So do you want to do the tiebreaker then?
Go on then.
Do one more spin of the wheel. Ooh. Oh, real scenarios again.
Spin it again. Get a different one.
Fine.
I'm liking this. I like the competitiveness as well.
That's because you're winning.
Oh my goodness! Again with myths and
Spin again.
It's rigged.
Yeah, but the spin's like the best bit, man.
We're just like watching the wheel spin round. Oh, new one. Fault finding. Let's have a look, see.
I'm going to have no chance for this.
You might be right actually on this one. Radiators are hot downstairs and cold upstairs. What's your first check?
Balancing?
Yes.
We got a winner.
There you go. That is it for today on the old Quizzy Boys.
Well, James.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah.
Could also be sometimes... Actually, no.
I'll get you next time.
You will get me next time.
I will. Callum, better questions for me next time. But you're fine.
Sorry.
He's not joking.
Going through the rad catalogue and just be like, tell me the heat output for this radio.
Right. Boiler brand winner. The boiler brand winner. Should we do it?
I can't wait to hear this, but I think I know what it'll be.
You think you know? What do you think it'll be? Go on.
I think it'll be Worcester.
All right. Let's see. So what I did, to get the
People
results
love
for
a
this,
Worcester. I'll
because
explain
I think we had nearly 250 comments. On the post. What I did is
I'm ideal on Baxi.
I made a screen recording. Can you play the screen recording quickly? I made a screen recording of all the comments. And then I took the screen recording and I put it into ChatGPT because it can actually watch the video, and it extracted like all of the comments, and then it's told us what the winner is and why. And then I made a little video.
No way.
I made a little video of ChatGPT like reading out the results. So
Sick.
this is a little video. So I've made this, just a screen recording, put it into ChatGPT. Obviously we can't see the comments on there because it's
Gosh, getting all AI in here.
There's loads of comments on there. And then this little video, so I just made it again, a screen recording of the ChatGPT results, and just sort of hit play because it can obviously read them out. So this is the results.
All right. After reading nearly 250 TikTok comments, here's what the gas engineers of the internet have decided. Winner, Vaillant. It got the most shout-outs and the strongest likes. And the top comment wasn't even about the boiler. It was people roasting James for saying Vaillant with an extra I. The thread basically turned into a pronunciation lesson. It's Vaillant.
Vaillant.
Loud, proud, and weirdly passionate. Top picks. Vaillant out front, then Worcester Bosch, Baxi, Ideal, with Weissman and ATAG getting the proper engineer nods. Agreement versus arguments. Vaillant had the clearest consensus. Worcester, Baxi, and Ideal sparked the most back and forth. Proper trade wars in the replies. What installers really mean. They're not talking nice and warm. They're talking easy installs, easy servicing, parts availability, and fewer weekend callouts. And Ferroli mostly just laughed at. Poor thing got emoji'd into retirement.
Ferroli mostly just laughed at. Savage.
Yeah, guys, I can't help keep saying Vaillant.
Vaillant, yeah.
I know.
People were getting mad about it.
Vaillant. Sorry,
Yeah.
Vaillant are great boilers, to be fair.
Yeah, so Vaillant had 38% of the mentions and 46% of the likes. Worcester Bosch, 22% mentions, 18% likes. Baxi had 14% of the mentions, 15% of the likes. Ideal, just 12% of the mentions and 10% of the likes. Weissman, 6% mentions, 5% likes. And then A-Tag, 5% mentions and 6% likes. But the people that were talking about Weissman and A-Tag were like bigging them up like massively. Obviously, a lot of the Vaillant one, a lot of the likes were just on the comment where someone was saying, it's Vaillant.
Vaillant, yeah. Yeah, I know.
So
maybe that's how I roped you in.
Maybe it is.
I just love Ideal, but Vaillant are great boilers. Worcester are really good boilers. They don't they're just annoying to strip down. Oh,
yeah.
They're just so annoying.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, it came second.
Yeah, they are reliable and good boilers. They're just annoying the way you have to get it all out the top to get the baffles out with a stupid tool and that.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of them you just get out the front. If it's in the kitchen cupboard, and you can't even get to it, it's like taking the cupboard out and that. Or some people just pop the heat cell out and you have to take the whole heat exchanger out to service it.
A lot of like back and forth in there as well in the comments. So as much as like a lot of people like love Vaillant, then there's a lot of people that hate them as well. Like, you know what I mean? It's the same with all the brands,
I think
really.
they're good.
You got people that really love certain things and people that really hate certain things. It's just like you were saying before. It's what you like, isn't it? Like there's always different people that like different things.
Yeah.
I mean, A-Tag, like only like 5% of the mentions or whatever, but like that ain't as big of a brand as all the other ones, is it? But it's still got its fans, you know.
Yeah.
You know. So
yeah.
Interesting. Quite funny the ChatGPT thing, isn't it?
Oh, that's great. I love the way it pulled me up on Vaillant.
Yeah, and it read it all from a video, so I didn't even have to like type anything.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think we should spark another little debate, Rob.
Yeah,
and I think this week's, or is it? Have we not at that point yet?
Not quite there yet, mate.
We'll
not quite there yet. Callum's got.
I've
some
got
more
another
comments.
debate for the people.
Have you? Nice. Callum's got some.
This
have you got
one's
some
gonna
more
be a
comments for us?
Yeah, I've got a couple bits and bobs that I've pulled up. So obviously,
James has a bad hairline. Cheers, guys.
That was me on the alt account. No, so obviously we've got the gas boiler penalty one that we did recently with the new charge that may have actually come about. Couple funny comments, couple ones that I think are quite important to discuss possibly.
Yeah, go on.
We've got this guy here asking, or saying what they're going to do, tax taking a shit next. Someone did bring up a good point and said, well, water, waste,
yeah,
that
you do
is
anyway.
going up. So
it's going up. Yeah. So basically already are taxing taking a shit.
You do, didn't you? You have to pay for your water waste.
I'm more concerned about this guy saying he'd be broke within 3 days. That's
how much you shitting, man.
But yeah, no. Moving on from the more amusing stuff. Someone did bring up a good point with the gas boiler one, and that's rented accommodation. Obviously, if you're renting, obviously you ain't got the choice of obviously whether you're on a gas boiler or a heat pump. So I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on that aspect of it, because that was something we didn't even touch upon really.
Yeah.
What, so if you're renting, are you the one that's going to have to pay the charge, or is it going to be on the landlord?
Yeah.
Well, I reckon if they bring it in with this existing government, it'll probably be put on the landlord. So you probably ain't got a lot to worry about, because this government is much more in favour of tenants than it is landlords. So probably don't worry about it, because it'll be the landlords that get stung. I ain't a big fan of landlords, or I'm not a landlord myself, so I'm not trying to big up landlords or anything, or like fight the corner of landlords. I'm just saying it how it is, you know what I mean?
Another thing is like where you're saying you haven't got a choice. I had a job a few years back where there was a big block of flats and it had commercial gas pipe running through the car park where you and Cookie used to live, but the flat adjacent to it. You go on the underneath car park and it had all like commercial iron pipe work, and loads of people have gone out there. This chap ran and he said, look, I've got this gas leak and the boiler's been off for ages. I've got multiple flats and then this one's just been sitting empty for like a year. And I was like, all right, sweet. So I went and looked at it, and the pipe was in the floor. It went all through the car park, exposed, and it went in the floor, and there was a real bad leak. And the flat sort of agent, you know, when you have to pay like ground rent for the, I think it was one of these companies that looks after the flat. Everything we tried saying to them, like, can we get the floor up? No, you can't. Can we run the pipe out the outside and rerun it to the flat? No, you can't, because it's somebody else's fascia wall or external wall. So we just couldn't do anything with this flat. And in the end, I ripped out the boiler and put in this electric boiler, because that's all I could do. And that probably is stinging up the person that lived there quite badly.
And they've got no choice.
They've got no choice, because that was all we could do. So they just had to go along with it, and now there's like probably astronomical electric bills. That was the only option, really. You couldn't have a heat pump there. Not that I'm like really can fit heat pumps. It's not really my thing, but there wasn't really. That was the only option.
Fucking hell. How much is one of them then?
I think I paid. It was a Pottage and Power Max there, which is like this boiler with a cylinder underneath it, and I think I paid about £1,000 for it.
Yeah,
and it was like.
Do you know what the brand was?
What brand it was?
The electric boiler that you put in.
What brand was it? I'm trying to think what it was.
I've got pictures of my phone. Really expensive.
That was about £1,000, £1,200. It was pretty good, to be fair. It was like it was just like this package unit with a cylinder underneath and a little electric boiler part at the top. I can't think what it was. I'll be able to find it. If you want me to find it.
Nah, don't worry about it. No big deal.
What was it?
It's not an efficient way of heating your home, really, though, is it? Like a standalone electric boiler? Because like we were talking about earlier with heat pumps, where you can get 500% efficiency, you can't get that with an electric boiler.
Of can't.
It's just one-to-one.
But that's all we could do in the flats.
So it's going to be well expensive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
More expensive than the gas.
Yeah. Don't rent that place.
Yeah.
The only other thing I've really got for you guys is a couple comments back from the 5-day plumbing course.
Oh, yeah, go on.
Exposed one.
Yeah.
Couple people obviously mentioning...
how great it was.
Yeah. A lot of people obviously saying about how obviously it's going to be a lot of people having to fix shoddy work taken out by whoever's done it. Yeah, absolute joke. At least they're generating work for actual plumbers. Someone said that they got blocked in the comments.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah,
like on the comments of the original of people's like videos and whatnot. Yeah,
yeah. So I'm assuming they've gone over, made some comments, and then just been yoinked. HMRC needs to investigate their tax. Proper way to get them, maybe. Phew, glad I went for the full 10-day course. I'm not 100% sure what this one is, so I don't know if, James, you can clue me in on this one. One video shows a thermo change on an unvented G3 qualification. I doubt it. I have no idea what that means.
It's just like that's the qualification you need, and it's a part on a cylinder that somebody must be changing. What does it say? Sorry.
Basically, these people, they've got a video saying that you can get a qualification to do this from them.
One video shows a thermo change on an unvented, like an unvented cylinder.
Yeah, so they're sort of like they're showing that and sort of suggesting that that's part of their course.
Yeah, maybe they're talking about a thermostat like for the hot water unvented cylinder.
Yeah, so basically, I think the person's just saying like you ain't getting that from a 5-day course.
No, of course not.
Then yeah, I did a 6-day course and I'm smashing it.
Like some of these, I don't know if they're... I think some of them are obviously taking the piss, right? No. But there are people in there basically shilling it, you know what I mean? Like bigging it up and that, tagging the people in.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, like there's a couple I saw where they must be tagged in the original channel.
I reckon they're taking the piss.
Most of them are taking the piss, yeah, but there's a few people that they do pop up. Like one dude popped up in there and he said, English people need more than 5 days. Like laughing face. You're like, mate, what are you talking about? Like we have standards.
See the 5-day plumbing course. I saw a video and it keeps popping up on my, I can't think what it is, maybe YouTube, Instagram, something like that. And they've got this rig and there's all these pipes like spraying water and they have to quickly get a compression nut on and do it up and stuff. And it's real basics. Maybe like people are using that course and then they're like just to get a bit of experience to like fit a washing machine or something like that. That's what the only thing you're going to get out of that is like maybe to change a tap or something like that or fit a washing machine, but you certainly couldn't be doing like major plumbing off of it.
Nah, without a doubt.
I don't know, I'm a little bit concerned with what this guy said in our comments. So he said he The guy who obviously does the course favorited one of his videos about how to hang a radiator, and he's now convinced that it's because he didn't know how to before watching this video.
Yeah, probably. They're probably not just going around TikTok, like gathering little bits of fucking information and then using that in their training courses. Like, that ain't how you do it. That's not how to put together a training course. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, I think those are the main, like, quite amusing ones. A lot of them, again, people tagging them again.
Yeah, like they plan, like where, what? So who's that there? Yeah, go on, click on that, because that's their channel, isn't it? Look, 24,000 followers. So like people are like tagging in the actual channel in the comments in our video. Like, I don't know if they're doing it to say this is what it is, or if they're doing it to like fucking
rig.
Like link people in.
It's spraying water, and they've got to like quickly get it capped off and stuff.
Maybe they're tagging them so that we can get exposed, and we're going to have them on our asses. Or something.
Nah, I reckon they're just doing it because probably like us talking about it is actually good for them. Because even though we're saying it's shit, yeah, you'll get people in our views and in the comments that will see it and be like, "Oh, can I really make that much money?" And then they'll click through and they'll fucking go for it. Like, because some people are just looking for a quick way to make money.
And also, it's like, what are they offering? If they can't be obviously offering like a proper plumbing qualification, so it might just be like, look, a little 5-day course to show you the real basics.
Well, we saw the thing, didn't we, with the undercover Daily Mail investigation, and basically they're teaching you how to fucking like just rinse people for money.
Oh right, yeah, we did actually.
Like, if Daily Mail are doing undercover investigations, then it ain't something you want to be a part of, really, is it? But they're obviously still going. They'll get people sign up for it. Like, it's the way of the world sometimes, isn't it? You know, people looking for shortcuts.
Limited spaces.
I know. Do you remember that original video where he's just like fully booked all the time? Someone in the comments before said, if it's fully booked all the time, how can I book it?
I wonder how much it is.
That cracked me up. It's apparently something like 395 quid I saw. I feel like I'm promoting it now. But just don't do the 5-day plumbing course, all right? We are not promoting it. We are not saying anything positive about it whatsoever, just for clarity.
795.
Yeah, mate, I think they put the price up then, probably because they've fucking oversubscribed.
Because of our publicity.
Probably. Like, let's stop talking about this one, Callum, now, because I'm starting to feel like we're doing them a favour.
I want nothing to do with this anymore. That's all I've got for you guys on cool. Comments. Us exposing my stuff. That's exposing the quizzes. I don't want answers.
I'll get that off you for next time. Right, mate. Question for the audience.
So, guys, we love the controversy. We love the debate. So, another one for the tradesmen out there. And it's power tools. And it's what's your preferred choice? Milwaukee, just labelling some of the big boys here. Milwaukee, Makita, DeWalt, Bosch, Festool, Parkside. What do you think's the best? Drop in the comments. Let us know what you use, what you prefer. Why it's the best. Why it's better than the others.
And follow and subscribe.